New at 6 o'clock, routine vaccinations lagged during the pandemic, but state data shows just how significant those drops are at local schools. It comes after a growing polio outbreak in the state of New York that started this summer, decades after polio was thought to be eradicated.
Yeah, and as recently as 2019, Texas dealt with a surge in measles, many of which found in the Houston area. Rekha Mudaraj in KHU 11 Investigates looks at the numbers as healthcare professionals are sounding the alarm about the next possible pandemic.
The last 2 years, we've lost a lot of ground.
As the new school year begins, data from the Texas Department of State Health Services shows a drop in vaccination rates among kindergartners for polio and measles, mumps, and rubella, or MMR, between 2019 and 2021. And one of the most significant drops happened at the state's largest school district, Houston ISD.
Anytime we see a drop like that, we know that we're at risk of having an outbreak.
In 2019, 95% of the HISD student population was vaccinated for both MMR and polio. But in the fall of 2021, those rates dropped to 79% for MMR and 78% for polio. Shantae Hale, the executive director of health and medical services at HISD, points to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Parents weren't able to get into their doctors, maybe spent a little bit too much time on TikTok, getting some of the misinformation there. But we did see a period of time when doctors' offices weren't open. And when parents miss that important date for getting the vaccination, they kind of forget about it.
Private schools have seen reduced vaccinations as well. A 35 percentage point drop in the number of students vaccinated against MMR at Primrose School at Summerwood, and a 22 percentage drop at Berean Christian Academy. At St. Mark Lutheran School, the data shows a 12 percentage point drop for both MMR and polio vaccinations. Pediatrician Dr. Victoria Reagan says state laws have made it easier for parents to opt out by allowing conscientious objections, helping decrease herd immunity.
So once that drops below that 90% threshold, you really increase the risk of having an outbreak of a easily preventable disease.
We have two entire adult generations who have never seen these diseases.
Terry Burke with the Immunization Partnership says another part of vaccine resistance is that Americans haven't experienced the devastating effects of diseases like polio, which can cause nerve injury, paralysis, difficulty breathing, and even death, or measles, which can also be fatal for small children. While many parents are playing catch-up when it comes to their child's immunizations, Burke says a small but vocal group are anti-vaccines and spreading bad information.
There's misinformation, which is simply getting the facts wrong. And then there's disinformation, which is a deliberate attempt to distort the truth.
She encourages people to not only get their children vaccinated, but speak up when disinformation is shared.
Vaccines are the easiest way to keep your children safe from disease. That's the one thing you can do to be certain your kids are safe.
Houston ISD has several vaccine drives happening over the next few days at schools across the district. Just go to khou.com for details. Also, in our story online, you can see the vaccination rates at your child's school. I'm Rekha Mudaraj for KHOU 11 News.